Hello everyone and welcome back to Car Venus 14. Now today we are going to be talking about Shenhe once again. Now I know it has been a long time, but what can I say? Life gets in the way and many other things. So yeah. Today, I'm going to be doing a showcase of my Shenhe DPS build. Now, if you guys remember way back when I actually created my Shenhe, for my first Shenhe video of showing her my build, I did say in that video that I was going to basically make a full showcase once I had her talents maxed, her level maxed, and all her artifacts perfected to as best as I possibly can. And well, I have. Now, I have got a new artifact set on her. In fact, it's the new artifact set from the Chasm. It's not the one that Zhao uses, it's the other one. I can't actually remember the name. In fact, we'll look at it right now. Yeah, Echoes of an Offering. Now, I did want to try this artifact set out on Shenhe, and from my own testing and from what I can see, it's actually really, really strong on Shenhe. But as for why this artifact set is good on her, well, I'll dedicate an entire video to this artifact set and Shenhe and how these two can work in tandem really well. But for today, we're going to be looking at my older previous build, because that build is the build that I want to try on Shenhe, because if I can actually remember the pieces, hold on, what was this one? Right, and then it was a bloodstained feather, and the timepiece was the same, this was the goblet, and as for the headpiece, it was, where is it? There it is. So, yeah. Basically, guys, that was the artifact set, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, 2-piece Bloodstained Chivalry, 2-piece Pale Flame. That was the artifact set I was running with all the crit damage in the world and absolutely no crit rate whatsoever. But we'll go through the stats. So, you can see my Shenhe is level 90 now. In my previous video, she was level 80 out of 90. So, now she's gotten 10 extra levels, which means she's a little bit stronger. As for her full stat, so I have about 22,906 HP, so nearly 23,000 HP. I've got 2,339 attack, which is really good. I have 1,094 defense, which it shouldn't really be that high, but you know, one of the artifact pieces did roll twice into defense and twice into crit damage, which was the Bloodstained Chivalry Flower. So there's that. Elemental Mastery of 37, max stamina of 240. The crit rate, guys, is 36.1, which I did say in my previous video is absolutely horrendous, but technically, I'm running a double cryo resonance with this build, or with Shenhe's team. So, because of that, I technically will have 51.1% crit rate. So it's not amazing, but it isn't horrendous either. And my cryo application is really good because I'm using Kaya to apply cryo. So, and he's one of the best when it comes to applying cryo. So, yeah, my crit damage is 217.2%, which is really high. Energy recharge of 110.4%. Shield strength is 15%. The reason for that is because I'm also running a double geo resonance as well. So yeah, and then I have 108.3% physical damage bonus. Now, as for her weapon, it's obviously still the same Staff of Homer I used in the previous video. Nothing's really changed in terms of weapons. Artifacts, I didn't actually manage to find any extra or better artifacts, so I am using the exact same artifacts as I did in the video I showcased beforehand. So here I got 18.7% crit damage, and that's where the extra defense is coming from the flower. The feather is actually really good as well, 20.2% crit damage and 15.2% attack. The timepiece, the timepiece is absolutely brilliant because I got 35% crit damage off of the timepiece alone, which is where most of my crit damage is actually coming from, to be fair. This is probably one of the best pieces I actually have ever rolled, I think, period. Physical damage bonus, 58.3%. Unfortunately, at the time, this was my only physical damage bonus goblet that I had, believe it or not. I didn't actually get any physical damage bonus goblet before this one, which is why this was the only goblet I could use. So, yeah, that's why I'm using this one. And then, as for crit rate, I've got 31.1% crit rate here, and then 27.2% crit damage here. So, really, really solid helmet. Constellation, I have her C1. Yeah, I believe, I can't actually remember, I think in the previous video, I had her C0, or I did have her C1, but I didn't actually properly showcase it. But yeah, either way, I have C1 Shenhe, which if you guys don't know what it does, is it basically increases the amount of times you can use her elemental skill. So before you could only use it once, now you can use it twice. And the best part about that is with Shenhe, if you guys didn't know, Shenhe's passive talent, or by the way, I also have all my talents at level 10 crowned. So Shenhe's passive talent is basically when you use the tap version of her elemental skill, it will basically increase the elemental skill and elemental burst damage by 15% for 10 seconds. That includes Shenhe's own elemental skill and elemental burst damage. So the tap variation is for elemental skill and elemental burst damage. The hold variation is for normal charge and plunging attacks. That's increased by 15% again for 10 seconds. And of course, this buff also works on Shenhe herself as well as everyone else that is cryo. So yeah. Now this is why, you know, cryo DPS or physical DPS Shenhe is actually quite viable because of this passive talent here. So yeah. Now before, if you only have one charge of Shenhe's elemental skill, you either had to choose the hold variation or the tap variation. Now obviously if you were DPSing her, you would most likely use the hold variation, but if you were, you know, using her as a support, you'd use the tap variation. Well, now you don't have to choose. With her C1, you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose. So you can actually use both of them. You can use the tap variation as well as the hold variation, and they will both be active at the exact same time. So yeah, that's why C1 is really, really strong. Unfortunately, if you do the hold variation twice, I don't believe it stacks. I think it just refreshes the duration. So you won't get, you know, 30% damage bonus for like 20 seconds or something. It'll just be 15% for 10 seconds, but it will reset basically. So yeah, if that was the case, then it would be really, really overpowered. So yeah, basically guys, that is the Shenhe build. Today we are going to go and find Masanori so we can test him out again. Now, before I was hitting numbers as high as 10,000, not 10,000, like 9,000, as high as 9,000, but I was averaging around 7,000. So yeah, now all I'm going to do, guys, is affect Masanori with cryo, because that will increase my crit rate. I won't be doing any extra damage towards him this way. I'll only be increasing my crit rate towards him. So yeah, that way the test is fair. I did this in the in the previous video as well. Right, let's go.
Let me try my blade.
Take your true form!
Right, so this is with the buff, guys. You can see there, 11,000. I'm already hitting, but much harder. Now, of course, this is with the buff. We'll wait until the buff actually runs out. Force of habit, I guess. Alright, now, the buff isn't there anymore. There, guys, I'm actually not hitting them too low. Again, 11,000.
My will embodied.
Now, with this, obviously, and with Start Flame of Frost, you can see, guys, this build still is slapping. 12,000, nearly 13,000 there. So, yeah, you can see it's a pretty sizable increase. And just to let you guys know, that was without any buffs. So I didn't have Zhongli's shield elemental resistance shred, right, by 20%. If I did, I would be doing even more damage. And I didn't have Yunjin's elemental burst, which increases your normal attack damage as well. All I had was this. All I had was Kaya's cryo application. That's all I had. The only other buff I really used was Staff of Homer below 50% and the normal skill hold. That's literally all I used. And if you guys saw the amount of damage that I was doing in this video, imagine how powerful this build would actually be with everything. In fact, you know what? Let's do that, shall we? Why not just, you know, why not do that? Let's just get all our buffs on him. And to be fair, I wasn't even using Shenhe's, you know, Shenhe's resistance shred either. I just realized. Because Shenhe's Elemental Burst, guys, if you didn't know, actually reduces enemies' physical and cryo resistance by 15%. So 20% from Zhongli's shield, 15% from Shenhe's ultimate, and then another amount of boosted attack from Yunjin's defense. Now, I can't remember how much it was. I think it scales off of her defense. So, yeah. But let's see. Let's do a full test and see how much damage my Shenhe build is actually doing. Alright, so we're gonna go all out here, guys. This is all out.
Solidify!
Flags up. And stop.
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this. This is
Right.
order.
Okay, alright.
Strike is one.
Alright.
Do your master's bidding. Transfiguration.
Oh my.
And you!
You guys saw that? 14,000 on the mid attacks as well. Not even.
Freeze!
Take your true form. Unleash.
14,000 on the mid
Cool
attacks.
it.
They weren't even the
Flags fly. Observe.
flags do
I will
lie.
have order.
They weren't even the last. Oh, right.
Transfiguration. By ordinance divine. Your grand finale.
Oh, I didn't manage to hit him, but yeah, you guys see there, I absolutely destroyed Masanori. I mean, I didn't completely obliterate him, but you know what? That damage right there is actually ridiculous. And I do have another artifact set. Like I said, the Echoes of Offering set is another set that I do want to try on Shenhe. And we'll do a normal test without any buffs or anything. Then we'll come back and do it again with Zhongli's shield, Yunjin's burst, and Shenhe's ultimate resistant shred as well. And we'll see what is truly better, whether this physical set is better or whether the new Echoes of Offering set is better. Now, if we do put the stats on the actually no, I won't do it this video. We'll do it next video, but I've managed to get near enough the exact same stats. Obviously, I will be lacking in some certain departments, but I managed to try and get near enough stats. Like I have more than 200% crit damage. I think I have 10% less crit damage with that build than this build, but 10% I don't think it'll be too big. So I think we should still be okay. But anyway, guys, I have been CarVenus14 and still am. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.